How you doing this fine, freezing cold Sunday? I hope you're having a good weekend. Thanks for being here. Please subscribe if you haven't already. That is my first request. And please give me a like as well. It would be much appreciated. As you can see from the thumbnail, we have some ranting to do. And this comes off the back of the CHELSEA Liverpool game being cancelled and postponed 6 minutes in to the game. Emma Hayes is not a happy bunny, neither is Matt Beard, the Liverpool manager, and they have every right to be absolutely well and truly over this nonsense. I mean, we'll get to training and how it affects their training in just a second. But match day's been pushed back now because of the weather, when actually today is ever so slightly warmer than what it has been. It's just becoming a joke. We've seen it happen already before the break. We've seen it happen all of last season as well. We have to be preparing for the women's games to be sorted if the temperatures are going to be cold. I don't know how we're not there yet. You can understand all of the fans' disappointment who turned out at Kings Meadow today. We know the Spurs game, of course, was cancelled, and we knew that in advance. And the fact that this Chelsea-Liverpool game was allowed to kick off and not cancelled, but 9:30 when there was a pitch inspection, it just makes a mockery of the whole thing as well. I just don't get it. And you can see why Emma Hayes must look at the game and think, why are we getting so far, but we're still so far from it? And she's always led by example when it comes to that conversation, and there's a long way to go. Taking the microphone and addressing the crowd, Emma Hayes had said that she apologises on behalf of what has gone wrong, and addressed all of the fans at the Kings Meadow Stadium, making sure that they know that they were sorry for this all happening and fans turning out, and they're bringing in a good crowd to Kings Meadow. Of course, Liverpool as well making the journey, for it all to be called off is a shame. But like we say, there was the pitch inspection at 9:30, and it was assessed then that it would be okay to go ahead for the kick-off at 12. And what happened was 6 minutes in, the referee said actually it's unsafe, and both teams made their way down the tunnel. A few boos around about Kings Meadow, but overall this is just the way it is at the minute. Frozen pitches is just happening again and again and again. The Majesty Stadium where Reading play, and that of course is their home stadium, has underfloor heating. Leigh Park, Leigh Sports Village, underfloor heating, and the Academy Stadium for Manchester City has underfloor heating as well. So if these stadiums are being occupied today, then A-okay. If not, and the women aren't occupying the main stadium where the men would be playing, then it looks like your game's going to be cancelled in weather like this, or your game's going to be postponed. I do believe that when it comes to training as well, from what I'm aware from my experience and from people I've been speaking to, there has been lots of games and lots of training sessions, should I say, not games, have been affected from the weather this season as well. Of course, the pitch has still been frozen in the morning, and you're looking across the pitch at across the lay of land, and the men's 3 pitches have all got the underfloor heating. This could be a problem for me, and you can see why it's becoming a massive problem for these women's clubs as well. Why they don't have access to use them anyway to improve their training being held off hours, a couple of hours, to try and see if things will thaw out a little bit more. It's affecting everything. It's really affecting the progress of these women in their careers. It's a problem, and also not to mention the injury that it could cause as well. I do believe that Leicester the women have access to an underground training pitch at Leicester, and that's because it's one of the old training pitches for the men, so they have access to use this. Whether the heat is on or not, I'm not entirely sure. I'm sussing that out just now. I'll leave a comment once I know more about it, but they seem like the only team that maybe are benefiting from this just now, but that's it. If it's been turned on or not is a completely different question. I know that Villa Park, they've suffered from frozen pitches across this season. We've seen pictures go up on social media from players, and of course the manager as well. They apparently have ordered huge sheets that will cover the length of the pitch to try and escape this as well. February, in my experience, always feels that little bit colder. then January, and then of course as well the snow that will come in, and it seems to be cold up to March these days. So things have to change now for training and for games. Unless women are utilising main stadiums in the weather like this, there's a very good chance now we're going to start seeing more postponements. It's the fact that where I think that it seems like the manager is completely peed off, both managers are peed off, is the fact that it wasn't called off there in the beginning. The FA should do those pitch inspections and be able to give it a fair assessment and know there and then that, yeah, this can't go ahead. So it's there's failing parts all over this story here, and you can understand the disappointment for everybody who's been affected, the fans, the players, the manager, the staff, everyone. The weather's very much out of everyone's control, but if they're doing everything to try and prevent this, then, you know, that would be a step in the right direction. This might be a very unpopular thing to say, but I've spent some time at Cobham in December, and I was so disappointed that Cobham is a beautiful training centre. And you've seen it in the DAZN One Team, One Dream documentary that the women are chucked down the back. You know, you're a 5-minute walk down from Cobham. It seems like they have all the right kit. We know that they've got the best manager. We know that they've got the best players. But are they getting the best for their club? Are they actually getting that? We know that Chelsea Football Club at this moment in time has more money than sense. We know that the owner has money bags to play with and is doing that this transfer window. Why aren't the women getting the investment? Why is that not happening? Is it because they're not taken seriously? Is it because it's not important to them? Because over the last wee while, you would say that Chelsea are stepping up a next level, you know, and they should get that funding, they should get that backing, they should get that investment. I've been to also Cobham when training's been moved back. You know, we have a schedule to stick to, but the pitches are also frozen and it's moved back a little while until things thaw out. That's a completely normal thing. So the fact that it's affecting training and then the fact that it affects the games is just becoming a little bit boring. And the money, the standard there is just so exceptional. And you go all the way down the back to the old cricket club or bowling club, and that's where the women are stuck. And that to me also is a problem. You know, I haven't heard any player or any manager actually complain about that, but you are a second-class citizen there, is how it seems now. And everyone's getting a little bit bored of it, and I always love to hear Emma Hayes speak out and say her part, and I don't think anyone can disagree with her now. It's the safety of the players, it's the professionalism of it all. Everything needs to step up a gear. If the women's game wants to be seen going on to the next level, you know, how can you take it seriously if it's still happening like this? I find it a little bit embarrassing. But yeah, Chelsea, Liverpool postponed 6 minutes into the game. It's only the main stadiums that, of course, women would be able to use to not be affected on a day like this today. Majestic, where Reading play, is that only side just now that have that in place. And yeah, ever so slightly disappointing. Emma Hayes not happy whatsoever. I'm sure we're going to hear more about this in the coming days as well. Leave a comment, let me know what you think.